Hello one and all and welcome to round 10 of the LOE Division 2 Championship. We are here at the Hockenheim Ring here in the heart of Germany, and we have a full grid of 20 cars to tackle this circuit. Joining me as per usual in the commentary box is Mr. QVR Verstappen. How you doing, man?
Hello, Dake. I'm doing quite well. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anticipating on a good race here. Germany is usually one for for quite some action. Weather changes as shown in real life in 2019.
I thought you were meant to mention D1, so I was like...
Nah.
We don't talk about that.
No, in real life in 2019 we had, of course, the same race, and hopefully we get some spectacle like that, or like Britain last week. So
yeah, last time out in Britain we had maybe one of the greatest races in the entire league's history, not just the division history, in the entire league. It was absolutely spectacular, and everyone that had the privilege of watching that, I'm sure will agree with me on that. So anyway, here in Germany, one thing that's quite interesting about this track is the variety of strategies we run. If assuming that it's all dry, you can there's a range of different approaches you can take. You can start on the softs and just try and get out in front early, qualify up high, or go in the mediums and focus more on your tyre wear. So it's quite a good mix, and hopefully we'll see some slightly spicy strategies here to give us a good show here in Germany.
yeah, anyways, we've seen the debutant Flying Cooper, who's driving as reserve in the racing points. He's the first one out on the lap, so might want to take a ride on board with him as coming through the first sector and onto the long straight onto the hairpin. So drivers will be getting the DRS open and will be the main overtaking spot into the race. Going down into the hairpin all the way into first gear, around 60 kilometers an hour. Short shift to second, rev up the engine quite nicely there. For the kink off turn 7 then, which you take completely flat, and now into turn 8 and 9, which is double left-hander. Into 10, don't want to go too wide because you can invalidate that one quite easily. Come down into the mobile 1, of which is turn 11 into the stadium section, down into turn 12, which is the banned corner here. Now turn 13, 14, nice chicane, and to the penultimate corner. Gonna take the best line possible here. Coming around on the exit, bit of oversteer, but he comes around, and Flying Cooper sets a 113.1 as the opening lap.
First time on the board then from the debut Flying Cooper. Let's see how the rest of the grid stacks up. I believe one of the racing points is near the end of the lap. It is Gary Donegan, who goes 3 tenths quicker than a 12.8. Goes to the top of the timesheets for now, but of course very early days. We'll see any updates there. Jekyll pops in just a 10th behind Cooper, so Cooper immediately mixing out quite well as Dylan. Once again, his pace in qualifying is always right up there, Dylan, I have to say. And there he is, already half a second clear of Gary Donegan there. Excellent stuff from the Toro Rosso.
Yeah, definitely. There's I think the call time for mediums will be around a low 11, maybe mid 11 if they don't get the lap together. And on the soft circuit we're gonna get into the 10s. I'm not too sure on how low, but
I'd say mid 10s probably.
Yeah,
what you'd expect. So yeah, early days in the session, just got 4 times on the board. So obviously, I believe one of the Ferraris is near the end of his lap. The Mark just starting a lap, in fact. So we'll look here. He's on the mediums, in fact. Now there has been a lot of talk surrounding Mark and his potential strategy, saying he wants to start on the soft. He wants pole position for this race.
Let's see Dan, just on the mediums and on a 112.6. And Matty now, just a tiny bit behind Gary. Seems to be a decent lap there from the Danishman.
Dan giving us a little hint of what his potential strategy could be. He puts himself up into P6. It is really that lap time from Dylan that stands out above the rest, but we'll see how Mark's able to get on there as he comes through turn 8 now, through the turn 10 now, and onto this third sector. Fantastic sequence of corners there. Through mobile 1 at turn 11 there, just a slight lift on entry, then into the famed Sachs curve here. Got to put it down second gear, now revving out on the exit there. Fifth gear, slight lift, going through 13 and 14, and now through the final two corners there, run it out on the exit. Mark doesn't do that particularly, but he still gets up to the line and goes fastest there at 12.1 to top the times for now, but still only 3:10s in front of Dylan. So I think, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, Dylan's time still proving to be in a better class of his own. Let's see. Of course, we have got a lot of quick guys, still to set representative times. You can never look too far into it early in the session, but certainly Dylan looking very strong at the moment.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. It's, just looking for any drivers on the laps. It's a bit of a quiet point in this session at the moment. No one really seems to be on their lap. Gotta be honest with you.
No, as I think Matty G might be
B Morgan just started his lap. That's
well, Matty G is currently going through turn 6, so just
right.
keep on board with him. They're on the hard tyres. We'll see how Williams got a bit of a slide on going out of the first sector. They're down into the hairpin. First gear, short shift to third. Of course, Matty took a storming pole position last time out in Silver, so we know he's got pace. He's not exactly translated to results so far this season. Let's see if he's able to set down quite the marker here early on. I'm just looking at the pit lane, and there's a couple of drivers, Dan and YHYY, that have allocated themselves with the soft tyres. So let's see if they're going to stick with that, move on, and set their fastest ultimate times on the softest and quickest composite tyre. Huge spin. Matty goes around, coming out of turn 12, very difficult traction zone, and Morris is out. So I'm not sure what's happened to him. I think
he's crashed at turn 1.
Turn 1, so yeah, I can see that actually on the map. So I think he's probably just ran wide, dropped it into the inside wall. That would be my guess as to how that's happened. Morgan, meanwhile, at the end of his lap, the Mercedes man P2 in the championship lap out goes P6 for now on the medium, so he's maybe got a little bit of time to find, going just shy of some of the other medium runners, but he does pop himself P6 for now. Dan and YHYY are both out on soft, so we'll see how they're able to get on.
The race winner from last race actually in Silverstone, coming around in P11 now, just ahead of his teammates.
Yeah, I'm waiting for keeping a close eye on Cookie Games as well, because he championship contender not set his time so far. Killer Blue now flies it through turn 11 there, and now breaking down into the Sachs curve there in front of the grandstand. He's got Cookie just up the road. He does get nicely out the way, of course, on those medium tyres, so he'd be hoping to get a bit further up the timesheets, up towards the front, but a bit wide coming out of turn 15. Now up to the line, goes top on a 12 flat, just pipping his teammate on that same compound tyres. But we do have some soft runners to go out and challenge for those top times, and as we mentioned, you'd expect them to go over a second quicker than what's been set down so far.
Just randomly lost it on the straight. Don't know how he's done that.
He's got to be careful with the rejoining. It looks like he's going to be nice and safe with that. I think there's a Ferrari off as well. I think he was just letting some people through. But I did see him a bit offline. But I'm watching championship leader ILRT Dan coming through into turn 8 now, of course, with quite a bit of a point to prove, after losing out on that Britain win that he arguably should have got. Let's see how the Dutchman is able to get on there now, coming down into the third sector there, flies it 5th gear, back up to 6th, onto that outside curve.
I just want to point out, Oysen just went 112.4 on hards.
Ooh, so just a couple of hundredths off that mark set by Dylan, so very well done from the Irishman. We'll see if he's able to keep that progress going. Dan up to the line, expect a big time here, and he does deliver at 11.5. Only half a second up, so he's probably got more in that, but nevertheless, top by about half a second out in front. We'll see how some other drivers, YHYY, he left it on the run up to the line, and still did a 12.2, so that's slightly ominous, as Morgan does a pretty decent lap.
improve on the medium still, and he might know that if he goes too fast, he can't improve on those mediums anymore.
That's a risk. That old because if he makes a mistake on that, he could be forced to start, which isn't considered as good of a race tyre. So we'll see how he's able to get on. I think we've got a racing point off. That may be Flying Cooper. It is. Again, he's gone off on the straight. And he's just got to be careful of the rejoining there. Because there's a Ferrari coming through. But Mark's able to take evasive action.
Super Gamer going up into P4. In the mediums
indeed.
with a 12.169.
Have a pretty close grid with Dan standing at the front.
Harry Lark coming up to the line. On the soft track, does he come? Yep. And that's 2/10 faster now to Dan on the 111.3.
I did see that he was 9/10 up going into that middle sector, so you could expect quite a time. Now I'm watching for Mark though. He's claimed that he's going to get pole position here. He's currently about half a second up on his time going into the final sector. He's going to look to try and find more here in these final couple of corners there through 13, 14, wide entry here into 15 there, fourth gear, back up to fifth there through the final corner there, exits coming through and de-rates onto the line, but he goes fastest by 2/10 over Harry, 11.1, that's top for now, 6 minutes to go.
And that's, Dick has come to the line, but that's not a representative time. So, looking through anyone, it doesn't look like it. One of the horses, that he's still on his outlap is Edok. Most of the guys now in the pits.
Yeah, I think Andrew's one of the only people on his lap last week's race winner, but he's done 5 laps on his tyres. So he's really trying to maximise them here in this session, and I believe he's still on the push lap because he's puts it up into hot lap okay at the hairpin, short shifting quite dramatically. I'd be surprised if he's actually on a lap just because of the nature of his shifting. Going down, absolutely, but I'm not quite sure what's going on there. He's just he is coming through into the final sector. They're going to car off there. I believe that's Super Gamer. Yes, it is. Going through into the Sachs curve.
Yeah, Maledictus up ahead also on a relatively quick lap. But he does go into the pits, and let's see if Adwey does the same. Yes, he does. McCrew in behind. He's on a 2/10 improvement, so he might finish his lap. Not into the penultimate corner of turn 15, and yes, he does. He go and finishes around the final corner, and he goes up to the line in the 112.4.
Just in front of his teammate by 0.03 of a second. The second hard time we have seen.
No, if that's for you, but where's Dylan for you?
Dylan, wait, what? Huh? Yeah, Dylan's not got a time apparently.
I'm confused by that.
Let me check. I'm checking the race director now. So there we go. Ira Dylan. So if you look at it, he's not got a green lap time, which signifies a personal best. He's got 3 green sectors, but not green lap time. So that makes very little sense. Yeah.
Luckily for him, I think it's just on the hard, so he might be able to improve on either mediums or softs where he's deciding to go on. So that's at least good for him. One thing to keep an eye on, Cookie has actually not set a fellow lap time yet.
Of course, many of these guys won't set their quickest lap times until the end. You're seeing the likes of Gary quite far down the field because they want to set their times presumably on the mediums, and they're waiting till the end of the session to get those down. A lot of drivers just heading it now to prepare for their final runs. But one person that's on a fast lap right now is B. Morgan here, who's had just a steadily improving season. He was in that podium fight, so been getting better and better with every race. Let's see how he gets on here. He is on those softs. We'll see if he sandbags at the end. But let's look at how he gets on there, going round turn 12, turn 13 and 14. Final 2 corners now. 4th gear, runs it onto the outside curve, trying to use as much of the track as you can, maximises it onto the curve on the outside. To the line, does an 11.1 and fractionally quicker than Mark by just 0.04 of a second there. He goes top, but we still got some drivers to wait for. I believe Gary has just started his first lap on mediums. Let's track the championship contender.
Yeah, coming up to turn 2, difficult brake zone, and you get to decide do you want to take it tight or wide on that, and coming up into 3 and 4.
Ooh.
And I think we'll be trying to go for another lap on those tires.
He does have time, but last week's pole setter Matty G has just there, out the way, down on the brakes there, hits that apex on the inside of turn 2. Now 3 and 4 on the exit. He's 2.5 tenths up on his time, but that was our compound of tyres, so we are looking for some improvements.
Coming up the line into P4, 111.4 on mediums. I'm not too sure, you're lagging a bit for me, but
I did hear some cutouts, so hopefully that's able to sort itself out, but I'm watching set there. Alfa Romeo 6 tenths up, nearly 7 tenths up on his time. He went to the of turn 11, still carries it on there now, getting onto the throttle. Cookie, he retires on that. I'm assuming he's pretty happy with that time, and I would be too. Putting up a show here as the Red Bull out of the final corner goes Matty. Does he go towards the top? He's about half a second shy of that mark set by Cookie Games. Gary, let's see where he gets on. Jekyll as well on a fast lap there, waiting for some of the big names to hit down their best times. Let's see how they're able to stack up.
Let's see, one of the Toro Rosso, that's Dylan, coming off the line, and a 111.8 into P6.
Yeah, I think he can do better, because obviously we saw him set that 12.3 on the hards. Maledictus to the line, and he goes just shy of Dylan by about 5 thousandths of a second, so just behind that mark now. Gary Donegan there, he's in the final sector, he's 7 tenths up. Let's see if he's able to improve on that there. Carmentals gets nicely out the way, down into the Sachs curve now. Got full course yellows pretty much. I think that's just drivers getting out the way. Now, final 2 corners, he's going to really throw it in there, 4th gear, runs out to that outside curve, through the final corner there, keeps it nice and tidy. Does he top that mark of Cookie? No, he's 3 tenths down. That from Cookie Games. Currently up for that.
Not improving as he's starting another lap. One of the Ferrari guys coming from the line, I think that's Gilbert just. Flying Cooper actually coming up the line at P9. That's a good lap.
Not bad, not bad. Indeed. Let's look for some of the other men, especially those on the soft. Morgan didn't make it to get his flying lap
on the improvements.
Round the final corner, he's just over a 10th up there. He's got 4 tenths to find in total if he wants to beat his teammate. To the line goes P3 just in front of Harry, but that's just net. We'll see how the others are able to get on. Harry is 2 tenths up on his lap. Super Gamer P3 with 11.3. Now
McCrew going up into P8.
How to work, final 2 corners there. Mark goes quickest by 200ths. 200ths over Morgan. How to work for the final corner. Does he top that mark? No, he doesn't. It's so close. 400ths of a second separating the top 3. Gary's on a final lap, but he's run wide. He's not going to improve. Killer Blue, he's still got some time to find. Edoc's still out there as well. Still some cars. Jekyll's still on this lap as well. Indeed, so we still got some big headers to set their times. Jekyll only 13th there on a 12 flat. Killer Blue around the final corner. He goes 4th. Just in front of Super Gamer, 2 thousandths of a second separating there. Oysen there, he's going to carry on to the end of his lap there. And the Williams just 2 tenths up on his time, runs it out final corner and goes up to P13 at 11.9. Once again, a very, very close grid by Division 2, but it is none other, well, if I'm not mistaken anyway, as Mark that takes pole position in a remarkably close session. So,
as he has promised, and yeah, it's Mark taking pole position ahead of B Morgan and Harry and O'Ark, all within 400ths of a second, and Killer Blue, Super Gamer, and Ireland Tidan all still on the softs. So the top 6 will be going for those red tires. Then we have Cookie Games and Gary alongside each other. Then McCrew and Dylan ran up the top 10. Free tire choice for Maledictus, Flying Cooper. then Oysen, Matti, Jekyll, Edak, White for White, Adri, Carmenslist, and Maurice rounds off the grid without standing time.
I think the man that's really made a statement there is Cookie Games. Only 3/10 off pole position on the medium tyres and 3/10 quicker than the next fastest medium runner.
Yeah, definitely. And he looks to be on for a good race if he can do well in the race. Well, it looks to be sunny, so hopefully we keep that way. That's last time out with the dry race in Britain. We saw what happens.
It was pretty good, yeah. I do have to say it was a decent race last time out in Britain. So hopefully,
I'm curious though. I think a lot of the drivers outside the top 10 are gonna opt for the hards. They're not too much too far off the medium runners in the race space, honestly. So I have to see if they opt for that or they're gonna go safe on the mediums.
I think, especially the guys near the rear of the field, the last 3 or 4 guys will opt for the hards. But we'll see how that all pads out there as the last of the drivers ready up here to kick off the formation lap of the German Grand Prix here. Mark did what he said he was going to do and took pole position. Let's see if he's able to convert in this race.
Yeah, I'm seeing some mixed strategies outside this. Yeah, there's Maledictus, Cooper, Jacob, and Edak all opting for the mediums, while Oysen, Matti, White for White, Adri, and Carmentalist on the hards. And then there's the odd one out called Maurice, and he's on the softs. And he'll be trying to make up positions quite quickly, I reckon.
I don't know why Adri's just backed off and let the last 2 cars through. Bit of an odd choice, but it is, yeah, Maurice, that's an interesting one. We'll see if he's able to pick his way up the field there. That would be definitely one to watch out for in these early laps. Of course, we could see some incidents, very tight turn 1, and pretty narrow track as a whole actually, so incidents can be aplenty, but of course, that's not what we wish. Eloy Mark, I don't know when his last pole position was. Oh no, he got one quite recently in Canada.
In Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did some mixed conditions thrown into the mix. Yeah. I don't think he the race went too great for him, but
Mark is an incredible wet driver, it must be said. And I think he wishes he was racing in D1 this season, to be honest. I should mention D1, but yeah, it has had quite a fair amount of wet races compared to this division. Anyway, we lead round to the grid. We've got a wide array of tyre choices here from this grid that has put up some outstanding races so far this season. And as they all line up for what hopefully will be an enthralling German Grand Prix.
Yeah, we'll have to see about that. Maurice is the last one to go up to the line.
Eloy Mark leading away here. Let's see if he's able to deliver. He's got Morgan alongside him there. 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out, away we go. Mark gets away from the front. Looks like he's going to convert there. He's just in front of Morgan there. Morgan have to fend off Harry to the outside there as we're watching. See the medium runners there further back in the field jostling. It's Mark though who gets away up at the front. Pretty clean going through turn 1, but they're 3 wide in the midfield there. Harry right outside of Morgan there for P2. Tries to keep it side by side. Has to yield eventually. Killer Blue is going to try and get underneath the Renault man and through into 3rd place there. And now he's going to try and fight back as the Greek. The yellow's further back. That's Adri's round. I think he's just at the back. Sorry, Carmentalist is the one that's coming cropper down into the hairpin. Killer Blue at the inside of Morgan. Morgan losing places there as he gets forced wide on the exit. He's got Super Gamer on his inside there. The Alpha wheel to wheel further back. We've got more incidents further down the field. I think it's Flying Cooper who's been caught up there and up the road. Morgan gets back on the bike side. Harry, who was wide, coming out of turn 8, sweeps round him there and gets through into P3, sorry, now a Super Gamer looks to the inside and gets through as well. Wheel to wheel. Does Harry try and fight it back? He looks for it, but no, he's shut off there. But it's Mark and Killer Blue. Harry to work round the Greek man. Round out, he's just losing places. Sorry, he recovers. He's behind Gary though. Could be still the leading medium runner as we end the first lap there with the Ferraris 1 and 2. Been a dream start for them. Mark leads Killer Blue after the first lap.
I just want to point out Jaco has won 6 positions off the start.
Wow.
That's been an amazing start, and he's in to P9 right behind Harry and Mark.
Maledictus on the inside of McCrew.
That's a good move. McCrew looking to fight back, and Maledictus has oversteer.
Just about saves it. Just about saves it, and he's able to hold
McCrew
that.
actually helped him there.
Meanwhile, further back there, Edok cruises past Matty on the straight there. Of course, Matty on those hard tyres. We've got Carmentalist and Flying Cooper both in the pit lane after receiving damage on the opening lap. They'll be praying for a safety car. Up it towards the front though, Killer Blue just edging away at that gap from Mark. The Ferraris are clear at the moment there. That could all change, but it is Mark still leading. Killer Blue hunting him down.
Yeah, and I'm curious where these Ferraris are going to go for if they're until 1 stop or 2 stop, which is both an option. We'll have to see about that later on. With Oysen looking down the inside of Matty into turn 12. That's a good move.
Gets it. Through goes Oysen, the Williams man, up in the 14th there, and Matty's going to come in under pressure there. He's pitting, he's got damage. He has damage on that right end play, that's why he was struggling.
Runs as well.
McCrew also went further up there, so one Williams driver moving up, the other moving down. McCrew's going to have to try and make a fight back in this race towards the front. DRS is going to be activated there. Killer Blue has got much more ERS than Mark, so he could try and mount a challenge here. Let's see, closing in. Mark pulls over, I don't think he's going to fight it. Through goes Killer Blue into the lead of the race there. He saw he almost got that win at France, and now he's going to look to redeem it here in Germany. He kicks the lead for now as further back Cookie Games closing in on his championship rival Dan. These guys are completely opposite tyre strategies, but look further back as Maurice also forces his way past YHYY, trying to make progress on these soft tyres. He needs to maximise these first few laps. Adri is tucked in underneath to the outside of YHYY, tries to go to the outside, up and alongside him. YHYY forces him off the track and keeps that 15th place. Enthralling stuff so far here in the German Grand Prix. Still Killer Blue now with the lead. The Ferraris still hold 1-2, but now in a different order. And Killer Blue, he looks like he's got some serious race pace here, currently establishing himself as Morgan now begins to hunt down markers, slipping a little bit in this race so far. Does Morgan fancy a chance?
Yeah, and two championship, actually the 3 championship leaders all close together in 5th, 6th, and 7th. As Super Gamer had picking up time penalty, and he doesn't look to be.
Sorry, cut you off there.
Doesn't look to be able to keep on with B Morgan, Mark, and Killer Blue as Dan is closing up to the back of Super Gamer. And Cookie will be looking for it as well. And Gary looks to be too far behind, but will Cookie try for another one? I think he's just going to get past Super Gamer.
Dan runs wide. He runs wide out of the hairpin there, but he gets that traction of being able to straighten up the car sooner. But Cookie is looking feisty there. He's right up in that slipstream. He's got it in overtake mode as well. He wants high top speed there. Does he look for the inside? No, Dan covers it up, but late on the brakes. Cookie gains right inside. Dan almost round. He makes a slide, and he's closing out to Super Gamer. He's losing out to Gary's one right outside there. Harry trying to follow through as well on the Mercedes. They almost touch on the exit there, going down into turn 11 round the outside. Goes Harry, he gets the move on. Dan is sliding down the field there. He's under pressure now from Dylan and Jaco. Disaster for the championship leader, losing places. And Cookie Games up to 4th now on the mediums.
Yeah, there was a very late move from Cookie, but I think it was just about fair. B Morgan close into the back, and Super Gamer actually, I think he has mighty damage. Because he, 5-second time penalty. Speeding in the pit lane, which is quite unfortunate there.
It's a remarkable train we've got here from 5th down really. Let's see, Dylan, he is looking pretty quick though as these soft tyres are beginning to wear. Look at that, he's got no grip coming off of that corner there at the end of the first section now, down towards the hairpin. Dylan's got that run. Is he going to be able to force it though? Dan's got some pretty good straight line speed. Dylan, is he going to try and dive it down the inside? Has a look. No. Oh, they're ghosting inside each other, at least for me.
Yeah, with some lag for me as well. But it seems to be all clean. Don't think anyone's picked up any damage. So that should be good. Maledictus looking to the back of Jacob. Jacob defends the inside quite well.
Locks up though.
Maledictus trying and looking, but doesn't get past there.
Dylan with a little slight error as well, just up the road there behind Dan. These soft runners are going to have to pit soon.
Yeah, I gotta say though, B Morgan looking impressive still on pace.
Yeah, as this
He doesn't look to be actually
Mark in.
Marcus into the pits, which is quite unorthodox. Quite early looking to be for a two-stop perhaps. Harry and Mark in. Mark gets a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, unfortunately. Yeah, mediums for Mark, and I think mediums for Harry as well. Killer Blue picking up a 3-second time penalty.
Yeah, mediums for both of those runners there. Killer Blue, of course, with that little bit of a blow up front. But yeah, you know, Morgan, he is showing good pace, but now the medium runners are really coming into their own because Cookie is closing down that gap. Speaking of gaps closing there, Dylan trying to get back to Dan, but he's got his ERS turned down. Jaco has a look,
Absolutely.
not quite. Maledictus, not quite close enough. Matty picks up a penalty. Adri down the ends, looking to the outside of Maurice there. Maurice parks it on the apex there. Adri's through. Oh, mistake there. Gets caught on the rear wheel of McLaren and through goes wide for wide. He made an error at the end of the last lap. We're losing places and through goes the Haasman up into 11th. Now Cookie Games, he's got to try and establish himself. He looks like he has the pace over the other medium runners, pace over the entire field, if you want to go that far. Does Killer Blue pit? That's what I want to know, because his teammate went out at the end of the last lap. Killer Blue does pit. Morgan also pits. So Cookie is released with his championship rival in hot pursuit. Does Gary have an answer to Cookie's crushing pace so far? Chow, championship rival. In fact, 3 championship rivals currently occupying the top 3 places on the grid.
Picking up penalty there.
But he is hounding the back of Dan now. Dan is going to be under huge threat here with a lot of cars with DRS behind him. Look at the traction of Dylan there. There should be much to this. Dan does get a good exit though. We'll see if he's able to hold it, but now the DRS is coming into full effect there. I don't think Jacob's close enough, but Dylan is certainly close enough. He pulls to the inside towards the hairpin. Does he get his nose in front? Gets on the inside, yes he does. And further back, you can see Jacob's also looking to try and follow through on his fellow ILRT man, as Gary, with that DRS, is close right up to the back of Cookie. Game on here at the front.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing is remarkable is that the Morgan is the only one from these guys onto the hards.
Oh yeah.
Aaron Mark picking up a penalty, but Morgan might be trying to go to the end on those stars. Who knows?
Yeah, that is a very good shout. I think he may be. Let's see if he's able to manage those tires. We'll see what Dan does as well.
The same. Yeah, that's what I say.
Dan has to pit this lap surely because he's really struggling on grip. You can see the difference with everyone else, and yes, he does pit in now. Gary has got a serious task ahead of him now to try and keep pace with Cookie, who has shown blistering pace so far, but that DRS is helping him out stay in contention. Both these guys have managed their ERS superbly so far in this race, but Cookie still holds this lead. But if he gets a penalty and Gary keeps up, it can all change. Cookie still leads, but there's a lot of pressure still on him, and Gary may still look for it there. He's got a good slipstream, he's got a good run. Cookie may look to defend there, going into the hairpin. No, he does not cover the inside. Gary to the inside there, at the turn 7. Does he get it? He's going to look for the switchback though, is Cookie. He gets back alongside him, touching slightly, they don't go round. We could have seen some drama between the men 2nd and 3rd in the championship. Gary Donegan though, does end up keeping that place there in the racing point. And has that track position over Cookie for the first time in this race. Let's see how Cookie responds, and let's see if Gary's able to hold that.
Super Gamer and Harry Noir going at it for P12 then. Super Gamer looking to the back of Harry, back out of pits.
Why is it? I swear Super Gamer and Harry find themselves together on track all the time. It's like...
Yeah. They have magnets for each other, looks like. Cookie again in the DRS of Gary then. And I'll be looking to get back at the Irishman very soon, I reckon. As White is into the pits, which is quite unorthodox.
Cookie Game's struggling for traction there, coming through turns 3 and 4. Let's see if he's able to claw back onto the back of Gary. I think he might be. He is closing. Gary's wary. He goes defensive there to the inside, into the hairpin, to the outside goes Cookie. He might try and hold it all the way around. Gary just shuts it off. Holds that P1. Further back, Maledictus on the inside of Jaco and gets the move done, I think. Yes, he gets the traction and gets up to P4. Good showing for Maledictus so far.
And B Morgan side by side, and Harry Noir gets through on the Mercedes driver.
Yeah, I do apologise. I've been feeling the effects of with a fever recently, and I'm having to stop from coughing fits. So sorry if the show hasn't been so good so far, but I'm doing my best, guys. Okay. But yeah, Harry gets past Morgan, which is pretty critical because he has that tyre advantage, so he should be able to flex that now, try and get a gap. While Morgan is keeping up for now. Further up the road though, Cookie Games is certainly keeping up with Gary there. In the Red Bull, on the brakes now. Takes a tighter run. Takes a tighter run. Yeah, he's much closer than he was last lap, and we saw last lap he almost got the move anyway, so it may just cruise past Gary, but I think Gary is pushing with everything he has, and Cookie has turned his ERS down. Yep, he's turned his ERS down. He is doing what I would call a bit of a TRL Schnitzel approach here. Sit behind, save your ERS, and try and force an error or an easy pass. Cookie Ames being very methodical about this race, and oh, Maurice is out.
And we might see some pit stops if the
VSC
safety car.
Well, I don't think it'll last. I don't think it'll last long enough though.
We'll have to see about that. Drivers have to make sure they don't speed under these VSC conditions, which could cost them vital points.
Yeah,
let's see if the VSC will last long enough.
I don't expect either of the top two to take any risks here.
They could like win a second or something. They don't. Dylan's in.
Well, here we go. How long does the VSC last long enough for him?
It's at least something he's getting.
That's true. Does he put the hards on?
It's still not. Yeah, I'm expecting so. Yeah, he is.
Yeah, he is. So Dylan, that's a spanner he's throwing in the works there, because after his full safety cars, then he can manage those tyres.
And
now they get back. And Cookie's alongside Gary. Cookie gets straight through on Gary Donegan there, timed it to perfection, and Gary will be furious. He's going to look to get back, but Cookie has timed that restart well, and he's got that lead. Gary Donegan, no response from him. He's going to have to try and get it back on track. Great driving from Cookie there.
Yeah, definitely. So he was alert at the restart. In behind we see B. Morgan close to the back of Harry Nork. I think he's too far off for this one. Yes, he is. As Dylan and Mark up ahead going side by side. Mark just about keeps that position. Dylan looks to the back. Don't
say that yet. To the inside goes Dylan. Onto the brakes late. There he gets up alongside, and Mark's going to have to back off. Dylan, a forceful move after they had to have a run in it. Silverstone last week. No such drama this time. Dylan gets through on those hard tyres. He's not completely out of this. He's got some ground to make up.
Top 2 stay out. Yeah, top 4 actually stay out.
Has Ira Dylan pulled off a master stroke here? Cookie with a penalty. Now we know it is very easy to pick up penalties, so that will probably not be the last for the leading contenders, but it is the first. Cookie Ames now at that disadvantage. I wonder if Gary Donegan will be knowledgeable of that. He is struggling to stay with him in that DRS, but he now has that advantage of not having a penalty. Let's see how things shape up in future laps.
Yeah, definitely is. We have some midfield battle here between the Ferraris and the Toros, and even Adri as well. Can we see any moves down into the hair? I don't see anything happening here.
Not quite. Caliber's wide. Caliber runs wide going to the hairpin. Dylan, of course, he's got completely fresh tyres. They are harder, but nevertheless, he could be getting more grip from them. He's right on the back of Killer Blue here. Does he send it to the inside? Yes, he does. On the brakes, gets through on the Ferrari, but he runs wide. Does Killer Blue try and fight back? Yes, he does. Outside of turn 9 now. Do they? Oh, they're ghosted. Dylan is he disconnected? I'm not sure what's going on here. No, it looks like he's
on top of his car. So let's see. Cookie Games is into the pits.
Right. Now, you expect him to come out behind Dylan here, but how much is the answer in this rather obscene ghosting we're seeing here?
Yeah. That's quite questionable, is it? Anyways, I think Dylan is already passed.
Yeah, he is. Well, but he does pick up a penalty.
And that's the second already, I'm pretty sure.
Dylan finally gets past Killer Blue. Oh my word. Hard work is ahead of Cookie. So let's see. Is Cookie able to get that straight away? He's got Morgan on the back of him as well. He's got to try and get this as soon as he can if he wants to try and chase down Toro Rosso ahead. Gary may try and follow suit on this lap. We'll see. As Cookie is closing up to Harry. He's already through. Surely on the straight. pulls to the inside of the Greek and gets the move done. Runs a little bit
Well,
wide
you'd
on the
say
exit
so.
though. Does he hold it though in the traction? Yes, he does. Cookie Games up into P9. The gap between himself and Dylan stands at about about 4 seconds. Yeah, pretty much exactly 4 seconds between them. So, as the Red
Gary
Bull,
to throw in a response. Yes, he
yes,
does.
he is.
He's into the pits. And Maledictus I expect as well.
Yes.
Yeah. Jacob stays out.
Stays out. Interesting from the McLaren man. Gary Donegan is in then in that racing point. Where does he come out relative to Cookie? Cookie probably won't have lost much time fitting away with Harry because he did have that DRS down the straight. He's got that huge train involving Dylan in front of him. Dylan dropping time there. Zoysen picks up a penalty. Dylan has got to get this move done on Adri as soon as he can here to put cars, as many cars between
Gary
himself.
is
Side by side with Morgan. He has to back
Morgan
off.
gets hit.
And Morgan
and
has
two
the
cars in
DRS.
between them now.
Morgan
Between
has the
Cookie and Gary.
DRS as well. So Gary is going to find this harder than Cookie did to get this move done, but he's still going to try it. There he's up and alongside, round and straight towards turn 6. He pulls up right alongside him. Does he get it done on the brakes? No, they're both going to arrive there onto the inside line. Goes Gary, yes he does. He gets through Super Gamer. Dan battling away behind him, the championship leader, and scraps today.
In front, Kilblue and Adri as well.
Kilbrew runs wide though, and he might give that right up back up to Adri. Yes, he does. The McLaren slips through. The Ferrari's still running in formation at the moment.
And Dan, the Super Game, is still side by side.
This is remarkable racing. Round outside goes Super Gamer. Has he done it? Yes! Through goes Super Gamer out to 12. These guys having a fantastic battle. Dan trying to make that strategy work there, of course. And Jekyll does pit then. Where does he come out? He'd expect it to be round about Maledictus, maybe around about Super Gamer actually. Let's see where Jekyll ends up.
Let's see as the whole pack is going past Jekyll. Maledictus coming around turn 1 there. He actually ends up behind Dan, I think. As Super Gamer picks up another time penalty there. The Ferrari's in behind Adri here for P3.
Killer Blue looks to try and get it. He's pulled over to the side actually. I think, is he letting Mark through? He's close as DRS and turned his DRS down. So yes, Mark goes up into P4. Bizarre tactics there. Or interesting tactics, I should say.
And Cookie has close up to this as well. And then Harry, and then that's Gary. So don't cut out either team down, because we know he's good on tires. If you can make this harsh loss to the end.
Gotta love this, don't you? Just so many different strategies that are all coming together on track. Look at how close it is in terms of the gaps on track. The top 10 or the top 9 are separated by less than 6 seconds.
Oh, Killer Blue! It's a bit of a moment out of turn 11. Keeps it on track though. Yeah, as you said, it's insanely close. The 13 is basically Killer Blue. He's round.
He's dropped it. Has to pull it back. Harry runs wide. Oh, Gary almost into the final corner, into the back of the Renault. Now this is a battle we want to see there. Gary with the fastest lap. Now everyone else is going to know that. He's going to have that psychological edge there as he tries to hunt down those in front of him. But now he's got traffic to get through, and that traffic is a very hard fighting Greek in the Renault of Harry Dwarf there. Gary the Irishman, does he get through there? He doesn't get as good an exit on Harry. He's got some ground to make up there. Harry already pulling towards the inside there on the run towards the hairpin now. Gary closing all the time there, 330 kilometers an hour to the outside towards the hairpin. He's still a car like back, pulls right up alongside in the braking zone though. Round the outside, gets forced onto the curb. Harry may have just held this, but I don't think it's over yet, because now turn 7, Gary to the outside now, to the inside, in a turn 8, later on the brakes than Harry. Has he got the move done? Harry's still there though. He holds it on the curb on the outside there. These two going to their turn 10. Gary right the outside, still wheel to wheel here, going into the final sector, inside line for Harry, but it might not be enough. Gary sweeps right the outside. Is it done? Yes it is, finally. What great racing between these two. Harry up to P6, or sorry, Gary up to P6, but he's about 2 seconds shy of Cookie Games, who now hounds the back of Mark there for P4 on track.
Dylan, setting the fast lap there, has goes past Ice and already got a second gap there, so he looks to be on if he can control this penalty. It's in sector 3 FC, I don't see for who.
YHYY, I believe. Oh, no. Yeah, it's YHYY. And Jacob picks up a penalty.
Mark comes to the back of Adri once again.
Cookie Games on the back of Mark as well, so we've got some really close battling. Mark maybe close enough to Adri to get this move on. Mark is close enough to Adri to have a go, and Mark is close enough to Adri to get the move done. Further back, Harry's still fighting Gary right outside. Enoch is out. Now, is there any safety cars to be had there through the rest of this race? I think he's retired in the pit lane. He's retired in the pit lane, yeah, so he won't. So
Maledictus and Killer Blue, they're side by side. Killer Blue on the inside. Actually, around the outside.
Cookie has a look, and these two have had their run-ins as well. They look to be battling for the win. And Silverstone before Cookie ended up getting that penalty, and here we are now in Germany, just a mere seconds off the lead here, and it can all change, of course. Now, Adri has been on those hard tyres since the start. He'll be pitting relatively soon, you would think, but he's going to stay out. I think he wants to have that fight with Cookie. Cookie almost loses it. Coming out the final corner, massive oversteer moment for the Slovenian. He's able to hold it together just about. Gets a much better run through turn 1 than Adri. And Adri to the inside there, defends hard. Now, does he hold it? Turn 2, later on the brakes is Cookie. Has he got it done? Yes, Cookie Games up into P4. Gary now, he's caught right up to the back of him.
Adri will have the DRS though from Cookie. And he's going to
fight it back.
Back at the Slovenia man.
Goes to the outside towards the hairpin. He's got his nose in front.
Gary, watch for Gary. Cookie breaks
Cookie on the inside of Adri. Adri runs a little bit wider. He's going to give up that place to Cookie eventually, but good fighting from Adri. Does he try it? No, he's going to be too far back here. Gary has got to follow through right behind his championship rival.
It's now a 7-car train, and it's a huge grapple sandwich, isn't it?
This is just sensational. D2, why does D2 always put on such an amazing show? I'm not complaining in the slightest. This is superb. Gary Donegan is hounding Adri. Look at him waving in about behind the McLaren Spaniard. He wants to get that move done as he sees Cookie just inching away up at the front there, and of course it's Cookie. He is targeted. He doesn't have that penalty that Cookie does have, so he has that edge. But yes, he does go wide out that final corner, drops him back. Adri is going to be out of that DRS range as of now. He's still got it down this straight, but losing time all the time to Cookie, who closes onto the back of Mark, who closes onto the back of Oyson. This is just sensational stuff all around here. Does Mark get up to the get up close to the Williams, down the back straight there towards the hairpin there as White picks up a penalty. Gary up and alongside Adri there. He's going to be through on the straight. Mark for P2, no, not quite. Harry follows through. He gets back past that McLaren who's fading down the field. Morgan is right there as well, but of course he's got older tyres than most of the guys around him, so he's not really in this fight. Harry is still fighting Gary. Like, you gotta love it. A great fighting spirit from Harry there. He's not fighting Gary in the championship standings, but still giving him a good go on track. Is Jekyll and Super Gamer now going at it, and Jekyll able to get through. Dylan is just taking advantage of this. All these guys getting stacked up behind Oyson, and he's pulling away up front.
Yeah, and he's got a 3.2 second gap to Dylan now. And I think he's going to have 6 seconds to Gary, but Mark is into the pits, and I think Harry might be following. Yes, he does.
These guys,
and they'll be going on to another set of mediums.
Yeah. These guys committing to the two-stopper. What it does leave is a gap here between Oyson and Cookie, so Cookie has got to try and drive into that. Is he going to be close enough on the straight? He needs to get this as quickly as possible, try and hunt down Dylan. Now, Dylan either has 3 or 6 seconds of penalties, I'm not 100% sure. So Cookie is still within a shout of winning this race, but he's got to be on a real charge there to try and gap Gary. He's closing up to Oyson there, not close enough, and that's going to help Gary out. Who's
in behind, looking at B Morgan on his hand, and Maledictus around the outside. It's all
to the inside goes Killer Blue after Morgan had the door shut on him by Adri there. Maledictus losing out. Killer Blue up 2 places.
And Cookie around the outside of turn 8 on
Does he get it? He gets squeezed out wide.
Up to the cup.
Does he get the move done? Yes! Cookie Games a brilliant move up to P2. Now he's got that clear run at Dylan. He's got 2 lap pressure tyres. Can he get it? Morgan sliding down the field. The 2 Mercedes going at it now, wheel to wheel into turn 11. Inside line though is in Dad's favour. Both of them running wide, getting Morgan into the gravel. Now he's got Jaco looking at the back of him. Oh, this is almost as good as Silverstone at this moment. I cannot believe what's going on in front of us.
I didn't think anything was going to get close to Silverstone, but here we are. And it looks to be Gary is now closing up to the back of Oyson and needs to get past. He wants to get close to Cookie. He can't let the Slovenian run away here. Cookie Games has shown some amazing pace there.
Gary opens his DRS there to try and chase down, but Oysen has still held it onto Cookie. That's good going from the Irishman, and it keeps his compatriot at bay.
Killer Blue closer to the back of Adri down the inside of the hairpin, and I think
he's got it. He's got it. Yeah. And further back, Jaco attacking onto Morgan there outside there. No, Super Gamer dives down the inside of the McLaren. Has he done that? No, he's not going to get the traction on exit. Although say that Jaco didn't have the best run himself, but he's able to stay ahead of the Alfa Romeo. Does Super Gamer fancy it? Going into it, yes he does, he times it down the inside. Jaco has to leave the space as there's a mistake from Morgan, who comes back on and almost wipes out Super Gamer. Super Gamer up to 10th and immediately makes a mistake. It slides out. Morgan's unable to capitalise on it. Wow, chaos down in the midfield and still up in the front as well. Maledictus looking to create an Iberian battle against Adri. Adri's still out there on those hard tyres. And now the Red Bull closing on the McLaren. That gap at the front. Gary picks up a penalty. It's Gary Donegan.
Him out with Cookie.
And Cookie is rapidly chasing down onto Dylan. Now Oysen isn't just in front of Gary now. Gary's going to look to us. The two stoppers there on a charge behind me. They've got a lot of ground to make up. The entire first to 14th is separated by 20 seconds. Now Gary Donegan up and alongside Oysen. Gets the move done down into the hairpin there. And yes, he's done it, going to get the traction. Now he's got Cookie in his sights. We could have a huge fight for the win. Gary's not going to get this one. He's got a lap pressure tyres. He's out with a shout as YHYY battles away with Harry down into the hairpin. YHYY gets that move, but he has much older tyres than the Renault, so I don't expect him to be able to hold that one for long. We'll see if he's able to. Harry tucked in behind, but he's got virtually no ERS left, so he can't get that move going down into turn 8.
And Iberian battle almost kicking off here as Maledictus, such as in Silverstone, gets back to the back of Adri actually here. Let's see if he can get past soon enough. And in behind is a 5-car train behind the RDT Dan as well, so we gotta keep an eye on that as well. We almost have no eyes left here, to be honest. Maledictus closing to the back of Adri. Will he try into turn 2? Aspel will look, but doesn't get past. I
think he's going to be sensible about this. He's got time to make this move there. He's right on the back of him now. Adri may try and defend it, but I don't think there's much point in it because Maledictus is already up and alongside, and he's going to be through there. Adri has to give it up. Through goes Maledictus. He defends it on the brakes and up into P6. Now he's had a decent drive as Maledictus there. He could be on for even a top 5 in this race, which would be one of his best drives of the season. Dylan is fighting and fighting, but Cookie Games is slowly but surely hunting him down, closing that gap. And Gary and Cookie, well, they're pretty much locked in pace-wise. You can barely separate them, and they're even on penalties. So both these guys are just going to have to really dig in and try and claw it back. I'm not sure about Dylan. Does Dylan have 6 seconds? I do have to ask you.
I think he does. I'm pretty sure he does. And Cookie now just within that 3 seconds. As Cookie and Gary both have 3 seconds, so that's gonna be very close. But I think Cookie will reel in Dylan, but who knows what could happen with penalties and whatnot.
Well, you know still... yeah, you know that 5-car train you were mentioning? Here is an action. The
yeah, we have it here. J. Cole, Super Gamer, B. Morgan, and McCrew. All close together here, and B. Morgan looks to be the closest one for a move, but of course all of these guys except for RDT Dan have the arrest.
And I don't think J. Cole is close enough to force a move just yet.
B. Morgan looks close.
Not close enough.
Close enough.
Super Gamer, both these guys, Super Gamer and Morgan, have proven to be very feisty drivers. They like to get the rails out on track, so that's a battle I'm looking forward to should it ever take place. Dan still holds P8. Adri is still out, so is Oysen. These guys really stretching out. I think they want to go on a set of softs for the end there and really go on a charge at the end of this lap. The top 13 are covered by 19 seconds. Just, yeah.
Insane.
With no full safety cars.
Yeah, that's pretty mad, and that shows how competitive this grid is. Anyways. And the whole train of Dan is close enough to the back of Adri now.
Just so
And
much to
meanwhile,
keep up with.
Maledictus as well.
Maledictus, yeah, I was just about to point that out. Maledictus, right with Killer
And
Blue.
one other thing, Gary and Cookie. Gary's close to the back of Cookie.
I said he was gonna have to. I said he was gonna have to dig it.
Close.
Yeah, he does. So he is sitting back for
So
now. There,
Maledictus.
Maledictus closing down on Killer Blue. I don't think Killer Blue's defending this. To the inside is the Red Bull. To the inside goes Maledictus, and on the inside he goes. Gets that move done, forces his way through Jaco on the inside of Dan into the hairpin, and he's also going to get through there, squeezing him out on the exit there. B Morgan is not quite close enough to the ailing, hard-tired Super Gamer as Gary Donegan. Yes, Cookie Games has made an error because he's lost time to Dylan, so now the battle is on, and if they battle just hard enough, it could still give Dylan an opportunity to run away with this and take the win. Who knows?
Yeah, definitely, as we have 9 laps to go here. The few guys still have in the pits. With that being Oisin and Adri, and probably the likes of McCrew and Super Gamer. I'm not sure if they can make it to the end. We'll have to see about that. Anyways, Gary to the back of Cookie.
Here
And
we
he's now
go.
really close. Jacob picking up a penalty there. But it's Gary to the back of Cookie. Look,
He's gonna get him, he's gonna get him. Yep.
Yeah,
Through
just
goes
down his
Gary
engine.
Donegan. Head to P2. Is Gary gonna win this race potentially? Who knows? Any one of these three can win it, I believe. I think it is a 3-horse race at the moment, but all of these guys stand to gain pretty crucial points
Jacob
on
gets past his
Dan.
teammates.
Jaco cruises past Adrian there further back. Morgan, he's going down the inside. He's made a dive at Super Gamer. Light rain. Light
we have
rain.
rain.
Yep. And
This
Morgan
gets even
almost
more.
gets caught out by that sliding out of the hairpin. Oh. Just when you thought this race could throw up more excitement. Here we are, rain. I don't know if it will go to Inters by the end. Spanner's being thrown the works with strategy. We've been
And this
treated.
could help Oisin and Adri.
It could. They've stayed out all this time.
If they can make him last, and looks to be pouring quite heavily already.
It
Like,
does,
considering
yeah.
it's only been out for not even half a lap.
I am keeping an eager eye on any driver that's going to try and make the gamble onto Inters. Of course, there's not very long left in this race, so it's going to have to come down quickly for it to be worthwhile for these guys, and that could be the dilemma. You know, all these guys thinking,
Adri almost losing it there out of turn 1.
and straight away Dan backs out of it.
Yeah, so look, but backs out indeed. Okay, not close enough. In the train, a few might be close enough, but B Morgan loses it and loses position to McCrew there. With Dan, is he close enough to Adri? Dan into the hairpin. Has a look. Stays behind.
Yeah, Dan not going for anything too crazy as
Matty's
expect
onto
for
the
him.
Inters. I think
Matty
it's way too
G.
soon.
I think it must be, surely. B Morgan had another look at McCrew, didn't get
But
the move done.
look at this guy struggling. If you go on board with Cookie,
Yeah, I actually noted that early on, because going through turn 3, Dan was really feathering the throttle there. He does get the move done on Adri, who I think made a mistake. Dylan is extended out. Oh, Cookie's off! Cookie's off! At turn 12!
does he have damage? And Dearest is disabled. It's already time for Inters. Dylan's in.
Dylan may have stolen this. He gets the car stopped for the pit lane there. Gary as well is also in. He also gets it through. Cookie, major error. In these wet conditions.
So
And all these guys,
this.
Jacob crashes at the pit entry. He gets
I saw
teleported
that
back. Super Gamer cruises up to him.
This is Germany 2019 season all over again, honestly. We have everyone basically into the pit. Is there anyone gambling a saying out? I don't think there is. And it's Dylan out ahead of Gary and then Cookie, who is, to be fair, still relatively been held up a tiny bit. And
Maledictus.
I see if you have seen D2 last season out, you would have seen that this has happened to him before. He's onto the hearts.
And suffering greatly. I do apologise, my controller disconnected, so yeah, that's why you would have seen it cut out from me. But Dylan, now, if he does have 6 seconds of penalties, he's still got a job to do. But that mistake from Cookie Games, he's still very much in this battle with Gary Donegan, and that is one to look out for, that's for sure. If any of these guys compromise their setups for the wet conditions, Oysen has pulled off a strategic masterstroke, by the way, to get up into P4. No stops, currently sitting up in 4th with just a handful of laps to go. It's been an incredible drive from him.
Yeah, definitely. One I'm looking forward to is Cookie versus Gary. Can we see a battle here? As Adri lost a few positions there, and actually Maledict is even more because, the hearts won't help him at all.
That's so unlucky for Maledictus because he was driving such an impressive race. But
definitely.
See now the thing is, Dylan doesn't have that tyre disadvantage, so it's all down to the pace now. Does Gary Donegan have it in him to close 1.2 seconds on Aero Dylan to the end of the race? If you can just check race director quickly to make sure Dylan does in fact have 6 seconds of penalties. As it's become wet, it has begun to wind down just a little bit. We've got a couple of close battles still on track. In fact, one very close battle. Matty G hounding Dan for P13. Dan has had a nightmare race here. So that could be huge for the championship. It's still so tight at the top. Dan leads it, but not by much. And now Matty G is hounding him. I think Dan, he may have damage or something because he's got no pace at the moment there. Matty closing, but he's without the DRS. It's very minimal to the inside towards the hairpin. Breaks later than Dan. Down the inside now. Does he get it stopped and turned in? He runs wide and forces Dan even wider. So Dan down to 14th now in this race.
Yeah, he's he doesn't look to be having damage at all, but just having nightmare pace, honestly, and doesn't look to be anywhere near points. If nothing crazy happens at the end of the race, when we have 5 laps to go. Killer blow to the back of Oysen, actually. One to look out for as well.
The gap at the front down by about 3/10 in the last lap, so did not rule it out. I say that Gary's lost all that time back, so Dylan must be running very low wings as he's gaining on the straights. Killer Blue is right up the back of Oysen. Does he look for a move there? The Williams is a little bit defensive, but doesn't cover it off totally. And to the inside goes Killer Blue. Does he get it stopped? He hits that apex, but he's not going to have the traction on exit. Oysen holds a dramatic P4 then. He'll be my driver today if he held that. Yes, indeed. YHYY to the inside now. Into the hairpin. Not confident on the brakes. Super Gamer is able to hold that just about. Mark is right on the back of him. He is a wet specialist. Let's see if he's able to make progress in these last few laps. The field is still pretty close in that midfield. And Dylan at the moment still just doing enough to hold that gap to Gary.
Danny inside of Super Gamer. Super Gamer making a mistake and losing the position there to Mark. And a bit of contact to Ash Seth. No crash, and Cookie Games picks up a time penalty there.
I think he's out of it. I think Cookie Games is locked in.
Let's see it. These other two make mistakes. I don't think Cookie Games is in the fight for this anymore.
Yes, indeed. Killer Blue still
and he's gonna look Oysen. I'm gonna look for Oysen's and Killer Blue's penalties.
Good point, yeah.
Oysen has 1 penalty. Killer Blue is also on 1 penalty, so
he can't afford a mistake though. He can't afford to make an error or he's gonna drop.
Looking at Killer Blue
to the outside.
Back of Oysen. Is he getting through? It looks like he has. Does Oysen up for a dive? No, he doesn't. Melody's picking up a time penalty. Killer Blue does go wide.
He does get the traction on exit though. Going and he's got that. He's got that easily there, going towards turn 7. Yellows in sector 3. No way. Oh, yeah, no, I saw a racing point off the track.
Yeah, and it was near Red Bull. So
he's like, gonna. He almost rejoined. His AI car rejoined. He's in the way. Gary's able to get around that. That has his cookie because he is ghosted. But that would have been a scare for Dylan up front. Still nerve-wracking out in that lead. And of course, we don't know the exact penalty situation. So if Dylan, if he picks up another, maybe he's got one more warning to give. You know, there's still a lot of pressure on him. He can not afford to lose 8 or 9 tenths to Gary either. Still, enthralling race, and with 3 laps to go, I don't think the drama is over. It never is down here in D2, and still Mark on the back of YHY here for P10. That seems to be one of the closest battle on track. Oysen with a penalty, I don't think that's going to affect him though, because the gap to Jekyll is almost 8 seconds, so he just has to keep it on track, and he will look to maintain that P5.
Yeah, definitely. But the gap from Dylan to Gary is still staying around that 4 seconds, and that's all what Dylan has to do at the moment. Gary needs to close up to the Toro Rosso. Can Dylan finally pick up a win here, as he's showed great pace all around the season, and especially the last few races.
Yeah, I can't say that.
For him.
I can't say that Dylan, since his penalty, has not picked up any warnings. So
Right.
the pressure is a bit off it. I see Gary he is struggling just a little bit through that section, and he has leaked just a little bit of time to Dylan. These guys are so even on pace. Dylan, 2 laps out from his first victory. He's going to be so nervous at the wheel. He's had race victories taken away from him for in really unfortunate circumstances. He's got his ERS turned down through these last few corners. I'm sure he's not pushing. I saw a penalty there wondering if Super Gamer picks up yet another one. He's really struggling with those in this race. And I saw a car sliding. That's Jekyll. Jekyll's made an error. So Jekyll now slipping back, and Morgan is not far behind him now. Just over a second between them. McCrew is right there as well. So now we can have
the gap from Dylan to Garrett, 3.4 seconds. Harry and Mark picking up time penalty. Mark as well. Cookie looked to the back of Gary. He wants to do it on track, I reckon.
Well, this could really help Dylan there. He's made that error, but now he's going to have that benefit of these guys fighting it out there. To the outside goes Cookie, into the hairpin, runs a bit deep though, and he's going to try get good traction to the exit there. Straightens up before Gary gets much better traction than Gary. Right up alongside him. Straight up into turn 7, they go tight by side, they almost touch, they didn't touch, Gary's almost round, and just saves it, drama here. Cookie out wide, he runs wide and gives up that place. Is that going to be the dagger in the heart? Gary losing out, and Dylan, that gap's now back out to 4 seconds. Why? Battling away with Harry there further back, wheel to wheel down towards turn 7 there. The Haasman on the inside, Mark tries to get up alongside, pulls next to Harry on the outside, going into turn 8, almost the move from Harry there coming back at YYY. But now, Dylan, he's had that buffer given to him. It's still just 3.7 seconds. Cookie with another
time
penalty.
That will drop him out of the podium as Killer Blue looks to be getting that P3. Indeed,
because he's 6 seconds more penalties. So, a mistake-ridden race from Killer Blue is going to drop him back. Look at Gary. That gap is coming down at a rate of knots here. Dylan is trying to nurse it home, but is putting himself under pressure. Now we know he's got some good straight line speed. He's got to try and use every ounce of it now. This race is not over yet. 4/10 the net difference between Dylan and Gary.
Yeah, looks like the free Matties off for there. The 3/10 margin that Dylan has. Will he keep it to the line?
Gary made a slight error going to the hairpin there, dropping 2/10.
McCrew for P7 as well. Look at McCrew to the back of B Morgan. Will he try for a move? As Mark is getting past Harry.
And defends it nicely there. Just
5/10 going into the last sector. Dylan can't afford a mistake here anymore.
You know, Gary's going to be going at
the stadium section.
Gary's going to be pushing, but he's still got almost half a second to make up. I think Dylan may have this, you know, the cap down to 4/10. Iro Dylan, it's been a race full of drama, a race full of incident, a race full of great driving throughout the field, but it looks like it's going to be Dylan to take the win. Gary, we're waiting for it to cross the line. He's made an error though. 4/10 is the gap at the line. Dylan finally gets the race win. Cookie loses out to Killer Blue on the penalties. And does Oysen hold P5 out of Jekyll? I think he just might. And a great drive from him to lock down P5. And Morgan jumps Jekyll. McCrew almost jumps Jekyll. Just 200 shy. YHYY, Mark and Harry. And eventually Super Gamer, but I think Dan might end up jumping him on penalties despite this horrific race that he's had.
Oh,
he's picked up a penalty though. He has, right in the den. Is that going to cost him? No, it didn't. It wouldn't have cost him anyway. So Dan ends up a lowly 13th place. Matty crashes over the line in 14th. And we're waiting for the last few cars to cross the line. What a race. Dylan takes the win. That'll be an emotional victory for him. He really earned it. Great call under the VSC and held his nerve brilliantly in those final few laps. Dylan is your race winner.
It's We have something new to add to the end of the stream. If you run for the results in a bit.
Yep. Yes, indeed. We are just for you guys. We are going to be running interviews for our podium finishers, and I'm pretty sure all of them has a compelling story to tell. If you want to, if you're going to handle the invites, then that'd be great. So, Dylan takes the race win from Gary as Adri crosses the line. Killer Blue as well gets a brilliant podium position. Well, that was an incredible race, so much action, and yeah, that was just incredible. I don't have much words there, but it is Dylan who takes it. Gary will be happy with that. I think it's a good race for him in the championship, and Killer Blue gets on the podium after having that great result taken away from him at France. And yeah, wow, I didn't know if we were going to be able to, if this race was going to disappoint after Silverstone, and it certainly did not. Fantastic stuff. And
So,
yeah,
we got 2 guys for the podium interviews to see.
we make
Dylan and Gary, it looks like.
we can get Cookie Games in as well, because we can.
I can get Cookie in if
Yeah.
he's willing to.
Yeah. Woo.
Hello, boys.
Hey, how you doing?
Make sure your voice isn't always allowed, which is very
Yeah,
important.
everyone just check your audio settings, please.
Should be all good.
Yeah, mine should be good.
Awesome.
Yeah. Very good.
So, yeah, we're also going to get Cookie Games in as well, then we could kick this off.
Yeah, I've just tagged him in the Discord and hopefully he can join.
Oh, those final laps, man. Oh.
Cookie
nearly killed me.
can't
Okay,
join.
Okay,
We had some.
we'll just run it
yeah.
with you two then. Yep. So, I guess we'll start with you, Gary. Obviously, bitterly close to getting the win in the end, but with that race, you do take the championship lead from Dan. So, how are the emotions after that? You satisfied with that result?
Satisfied, yeah. I probably could have won. I got a bit held in the pits because my teammate he was a lap down, so he pit first, and I got held by like a second or two. So that was probably a difference. But like you said, championship lead, so I can't complain too much.
What was your take on your battle with Cookie as well? Because you guys were going at it for pretty much the entire race.
I was enjoying it, and then second last lap, I don't know what happened. I have to look it back. I don't know what happened, but we touched anyway, and I was lucky not to put it in the wall. So I'd have to look back and see what happened. But yeah, hopefully have a few more of those battles.
That was turn 7 as well. That was out of turn
Yeah.
7, right? You came together. It was quite. I thought you were going into the wall as well.
So did I. Jeez.
Yeah. What did you think when Cookie went off just in front of you at the Sax car?
Oh yeah, I thought he went into the gravel. I thought he did a Vettel. So I guess he got lucky enough then.
Yeah, well, congratulations to you, Gary, there on your championship lead. But coming to our race winner now, Hyro Dillon. There's been heartbreak for you in recent rounds, so having finally got over that hurdle and getting this race win, how much does that mean to you?
Oh man, it means so much. I felt like the entire season I had the pace to get a top 5 every time, but I just felt held back the entire time. Just a little bit unlucky, a few incidents as well, and yeah, finally this race everything went perfectly for me.
Yeah. What was the inspiration behind your call to pit under the VSE that proved instrumental in your race win in the end?
Well, I knew that like I would do a massive Hanukkah, but I only would pit like 2 laps earlier than I was supposed to. So and those hard tires they can last forever, and I knew the rain was coming, so I was like, yeah, well, just go for it under the VSC, and yeah, it worked out massively. So happy I did it.
And finally, how tense were you in those final few laps?
Really tense, man. My heart was right in my throat. Yeah, I was just trying to not get a warning and trying to keep it on track, and made 1 or 2 mistakes in the wet, but yeah, so happy I ended up winning.
Yeah, well, congrats to both of you there. Dylan on the win, Gary on P2 in the championship lead. I hope to see much more for you going throughout the season. And that's going to wrap us up for a great race here in Germany. Absolute mayhem, absolutely enthralling stuff from lights to flag from all of our 20 drivers there. That is what we want to see. And yeah, after that, once again seeing an incredible race here. I'm Daka, he's been Verstappen, and we have Dylan and Gary as guests at the end as well. We'll see you guys next time.